Now, this very sad news that's now confirmed. Phillip Hughes, the Australian cricketer, has died. This follows, of course, the terrible injury suffered during that Sheffield Shield match at the SCG that we've been reporting now these last 2 days. It was, in fact, around 48 hours ago that this happened. James Bracey is with me now, and James, this confirmation now that Phillip Hughes has died from those injuries.
Just a short time ago, David, in the past minute, a statement from Cricket Australia confirming as much, speaking on behalf of the family. It is extremely hard news to digest. You feared the worst as time went on over the past couple of days since Phillip Hughes was struck in the head with a cricket ball playing in a Sheffield Shield match at the SCG. But confirmation he has died today from those injuries to his brain. There was obviously bleeding in the brain. They did everything they could at St Vincent's Hospital in Sydney.
And they are, as people keep saying, they are the best of the best of the best.
They are.
Best possible treatment he could have received. I know there's been questions today about the ambulance response time, but with this sort of injury, he finally was in the right place to be treated, but it sounds like the injury itself was just too severe, and from what I'm told, the family today obviously had to make a difficult decision about this, he's not awoken from that induced coma.
No, he hasn't. And look, we've seen over the past couple of days the amount of players, teammates, friends coming in and out of St Vincent's Hospital. In the end, towards, especially today, it soon became real that they were there visiting Phillip Hughes to say goodbye. And you can only imagine what they've been going through. We've seen Australian captain Michael Clarke, very close friend of Phillip Hughes, been spending a lot of time at the hospital, was there till midnight last night, back there at 6:15 this morning. This news so hard to digest as a cricket fan myself, but also as a sports commentator, someone who's interviewed Phillip before and had the pleasure of talking cricket with such a likeable guy. It's very easy to say in these situations, no one's got a bad word to say about him, but they simply do not have a bad word. You can see there David Warner and Aaron Finch, two of his teammates outside St Vincent's today, clearly distraught by what they're going through at the moment. His family, we can only somehow try and comprehend. His mother and sister were at the ground at the SCG on Tuesday when Phillip Hughes was hit with the ball, and they have been obviously at the hospital ever since. It has been quite a tumultuous week, but it was quite a career for Phillip Hughes as well. 25 years of age, 26 test matches for Australia, over 1,500 test runs, 3 centuries, 7 half-centuries, debuted in 2009 against South Africa in just his second test. Was the youngest ever person from Australia to score centuries in one test match. He was a great Australian cricketer and a great man too.
The son of a banana farmer from Maxville on the far north coast of New South Wales, Phillip Hughes travelled to the big smoke, Sydney, at the age of 17 to start his journey to a baggy green. Hughes would make an immediate impact with a century on debut for grade club Western Suburbs, and a state debut would follow at the age of 18 in November 2007. He'd play in a Sheffield Shield winning team that featured Michael Clarke, Brett Lee and Simon Katich, whom he upstaged by making history as the youngest player to score 100 in a Sheffield Shield final. A performance that won him a baggy green as Australian Test player 408 in February 2009 against the might of South Africa.
Oh no! What a way to start!
His first innings in Test was a 4-ball duck.
Did he come from bush? He made the big time.
He was fine. He's a pretty confident, positive sort of guy, and I know he's looking forward to getting a second chance in the second innings.
He made 75 in the second innings before creating cricket history in the next Test as the youngest player to make hundreds in both innings of a Test match with scores of 115 and 160.
He did it in his second Test against a bowling attack that was comprising Stain, Morkel and Teeny and Callis. I mean, at that stage he had the world at his feet.
His career at Test level would be far from smooth. He'd be dropped 5 times from the Australian team during a 26 Test career, compiled over 5 years. Despite what many perceived as a lack of faith on the selectors' part, Hughes refused to complain and returned to state ranks to do what he did best, score runs, and many of them. 15,789 at first-class level at an average of almost 58 with 26 centuries. Hughes left New South Wales for South Australia in 2012.
One probably thing that I've really worked on, but I'm not going to go into it. But I know that, as I said, it's improved my game all around the park.
He made history in only July this year when he became the first Australian man to make a double century in a limited overs game for Australia A against South Africa A in Darwin. The left-hander was poised for a 27th Test appearance just next week as Michael Clarke's replacement against India. His 63 not out against his old state had seemingly sealed his selection. A humble man and popular player, the news of Hughes' injuries drew well-wishers from right around the globe.
The whole dressing room, whole team have been in a bit of shock all day, really, to be honest with you. All our thoughts and prayers are, with Phillip.
A career and a life that had just started, snatched away in the cruelest manner imaginable. Phillip Hughes was 25.